Kia ora, my name's Laurie. I work for Arthritis New Zealand as an arthritis educator. So thanks for joining this webinar today about foot and ankle arthritis. We'll start by looking at some types of joints found in the human body. You may like to take some notes as well for this presentation. So these are types of joint found in the human body. We have some semi-mobile joints like your vertebrae and ribs. We have cartilage joints like your vertebrae, immovable joints like in your skull, ball and socket joints of your hip, and a hinged joint in your elbow, and also your foot and ankle fall into the category of a hinged joint. So this is normal joint anatomy. So you have your bones with your cartilage, which is your shiny, hard surface on the end of your bones, with the synovial fluid in the middle. And the synovial fluid lubricates and nourishes your cartilage. There's also the muscles, the ligaments, and the tendons. This is an anatomy of your foot bones, pretty complicated anatomy, including the hind foot, the midfoot, and the forefoot. You might not know that you have 28 bones in your feet. You have 30 joints and 100 muscles and tendons. You may recognize the words of the bones, including the calcaneus, the talus, the tarsals, the metatarsals, and the phalanges, which are your toes. Also interesting to remember the arches of your foot, which are made up of the medial arch, the lateral arch, and the transverse arch. So these arches, along with your muscles and your bones, maintain the integrity of your foot. Also, thinking of the tripod of every footfall or the step that you take, you land on your heel, underneath your big toe, and underneath your little toe. This is an X-ray of early rheumatoid arthritis. So it shows some osteopenia, which is some bone loss, some erosions, some differences in joint distribution, and some joint narrowing. This is an X-ray of late rheumatoid arthritis. So again, showing more bone loss, more joint erosion, more joint narrowing, some dislocation, and some real deformity in the big toe as well. When we think about how osteoarthritis is treated, of course, everyone is different and there's no magic cure. But treatments can help with reducing the pain, maintaining your ability and doing the tasks that you love, and reducing how often flares come along and inflammation. And treatments can also prevent any joint damage from being ongoing or further joint damage as well. And of course, there's the surgical options too. So let's think about how you effectively self-manage your arthritis. So self-management principles are going to include having knowledge on your condition. So do some investigation, ask about your condition, follow an agreed treatment plan with your GP or specialist, actively share in the decision-making with your health professionals, monitor and manage your signs and symptoms of arthritis. So this means observing and taking a diary or taking some notes about what's happening for you and your arthritis, what triggers it, what the pain is, how it feels, etc. You can share that at your next appointment with your GP. To manage the impact of your condition on your physical, emotional, and social life. This is talking about holistic well-being. The four corners of your well-being are physical, emotional, social, and spiritual. So looking after yourself holistically, and therefore adopting lifestyles that promote this health. Have confidence to access the services and support services that are available to you as well. I wanted to talk today about shared decisions Okay to ask questions. You are the expert in your own life. It's well known that health information is difficult to understand sometimes because of the emotions, the stress, the timing that's going on for you, etc. All impact on the ability for us to understand that information in that consultation. So it's okay to ask the same questions again. I want to remind you of the health and disability rights. That's the red certificate that you see in your specialist or your doctor's surgery. It outlines 10 rights that you have as a consumer, a health consumer. So right 5, you have the right to effective communication. Right 6, you have the right to be fully informed. And right 7, you have the right to make an informed decision and to consent to that. So that means you've got to understand all of the information given to you. So continue to ask if you don't understand. Find someone that you feel comfortable with as your health professional, and don't suffer in silence. Always reach out. In the yellow box there is about someone who has successfully got a good relationship with their GP. So we always put our ideas down, and then she tells us what her ideas are. So it's an open two-way conversation, and we feel a lot more freer to speak. So that's somewhere that you want to aim to be with your GP and specialist. So things that you can do self-management wise. When we talk about joint protection, we're thinking about really looking after your feet and ankles and doing things that help ease the impact on them. That might be using walking poles, looking at the chair in your lounge to make sure it's easy to get in and out of, the height of your bed, your socks, your shoes, etc. Anything that protects your feet and ankles is a good idea. Exercise. And with Arthritis New Zealand, always say that exercise is key to improving your arthritis. So any exercise that you can sustain, that you love, that you can include in your daily routine is going to be helpful for your arthritis. Now, core strength, you'll be surprised at how helpful this is. That's looking after the muscles in your stomach, hips and back to make them strong. So that requires maybe you to have a little routine that you can do at home that help your core strength, some sit-ups or some planking or some push-ups, anything like that that are available to you to strengthen up your core, takes the load off your ankles, knees and hips. Weight range, it's a physics thing. The less weight there is on your ankles, knees and hips, the easier it is for your arthritis. Correct shoes. Invest some time investigating what would work for you, what's comfortable to do tasks in. Relaxation and meditation. This is about calming your brain and your nervous system down. So thinking about where it is that you can do this. It might be in your messaging to your brain, your meditation. You might access some Tai Chi or yoga classes. All of this helps you be more relaxed within pain and within your lifestyle. Physiotherapy, this is about the team that you put around yourself. So it might be physio, your swimming group, your walking group, any other specialists that there are, they all help in keeping you on track and giving you some expertise and some ways that is going to help your arthritis. Of course, there's a good place for medications as well. This is a conversation that you can have with your GP, your pharmacist or your specialist. Diverse diet for gut health. Your diet has a role in a healthy immune system, and helps lessen inflammation. So to get a good gut microbiome, eat a diverse diet for gut health. So including lots of fresh foods and lots of veggies and lots of protein as well. Just have a diverse gut diet for that. Here are some options, some medical options for arthritis. So conservative treatment is going to include some functional support devices for your shoes. They'll be flexible and they'll fit into your shoes and support your existing function there. For later deformities, these devices will get a little bit more rigid and stronger. And in most cases, it will include extra depth supportive sole, and that might include your rocker shoes. So this is what a rocker shoe looks like, or a rocker sole. These are easily available in shoe shops or sports shoe shops, as well as online. So worth investigating, trying out, and maybe investigating and investing in these type of soles. Thinking about surgical options, this is called a joint fusion. So these kind of things is between the talus and the tarsals, and fusing the joints to conserve and preserve what's the function that's already there. This is a subtalar fusion, and that again is preserves the function of the transverse tarsal joint. There's choices with the operative treatment, so it might be suggested that you have a synovectomy, which is for early disease, and it's a removal of any synovial tissue that's inflamed and irritated and painful. Is the joint fusion. This was suggested by a surgeon in Nelson that I listened to, that it's a gold standard treatment. It fuses the joint and it preserves the function that's already there. And then there's the arthroplasty or joint replacement. So that's a bigger procedure. It takes longer to recover from, and it's for later deformity from arthritis. Have confidence to access services. There's many services out there, and they might include, well, they will include your GP and primary health. There's Healthline, there's Arthritis New Zealand and our services and our website. There's the green prescription in your area. This often includes a self-referral or a referral from your GP. There's your rheumatology services. There's online support groups, and there's Health Navigator and other websites. And these will all lead you to the best care for your arthritis. So please access those services. And going forward with today's information, think about your present lifestyle and what is the goal that you can include in your life right now to help your arthritis and to improve your quality of life. This is a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. You have to accept whatever comes along, and the only important thing is that you meet it with courage and the best you have to give. These are some useful websites to look at, to make your goals from, and to do some investigation from. And there's also our 0800 number, which is 0800 663 463. I just want to say a little bit about that. Arthritis New Zealand is funded by individuals, donations, grants and trusts, foundations, bequests and sponsorships. We rely on the generosity of the public donations to ensure that we can bring you information, presentations and webinars like this to you. You might consider assisting by visiting our website and using the donate button. And thank you if you do this, we really appreciate it. A simple exercise that you can do with your foot today to strengthen up the muscles and tendons and bones in your feet. And thank you for listening to this webinar today, and best luck going forward. Kia ora.
Hi, I'm Harry, and here are my top tips for supporting and strengthening the muscles in your feet and ankles. I'm a runner, and see those hills behind me? I love to run up and down them. And so it's really important for me to have strong support in my feet. So firstly, shoes. I suggest you purchase some solid footwear which can support your feet against the hard impact of walking and running. You can test this by seeing how much they bend, and the harder it is to bend, the stronger the support is. This shoe has not got a good support, so it bends very easily. Secondly, toes. This is a very common place to have arthritis. Here is one exercise you can do to build up the muscle in your toes. Place a tissue on the floor, and with your heel on the ground, pick up the tissue, hold it for 3 seconds, drop it, and repeat. This exercise is very good for all the muscles in your toes. Thirdly is ankles. Walking around requires very strong ankles, especially if you're heading into the trails or walking over uneven terrain. This is a great exercise to improve your ankle strength. So first, you shape out each letter of the alphabet from A to Z in lowercase. This exercise lubricates the ankle joint and muscles get kicked into action, which in turn improves your joint stability. And that's all for now. See you next time.